Welcome to Beyond the Bullet Points, the resume revealed.
Glad to be here.
Today we're really peeling back the layers on a resume, trying to find the story underneath.
Exactly. Not just reading the lines, but reading between them.
And we got a really interesting one today. It's from Hershel T. He's an anonymized submitter, currently a second-year computer science student.
Yes, at Reichman University in Israel. And his resume clearly states his goal, finding a job that, fits alongside his studies.
What jumps out right away, I think, is the mix of experiences. You see the current university stuff in Israel, then this gap year program, Torah Tech, and then high school back in the U.S., Ida Crown Jewish Academy. It's quite a journey already.
It really is. And that's kind of our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To figure out what makes Hershel's resume tick.
Yeah, what makes it stand out? What does this variety tell a potential employer about him?
And crucially, what can you, listening in, learn from this for your own resume, your own career thinking?
Okay, let's get started. First impressions matter, right? So the about me or objective.
Right. And straight off, it's interesting. He's a second-year student mentioning real tech work experience. That definitely catches the eye.
It does. And then he makes this connection. It's pretty unique. Competitive Rubik's Cube speed solving
Yeah.
linked to an algorithmic yet colorful approach to programming. I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, it's memorable, isn't it? It's not just, I'm good at logic. It suggests maybe creativity, a different way of thinking about problems.
Do you think employers actually buy into that? Or is it just like a quirky detail?
I think it can work. It hints at, cognitive flexibility, seeing patterns, enjoying a challenge. For programming, that's relevant. It's maybe more than just quirky.
Okay. And the objective itself, wanting a job alongside studies, seems pretty clear, pretty focused for where he is.
Agreed. It sets realistic expectations.
All right, moving to education. He's at Reichman University, BS in computer science, expecting to finish July 26th, and notably, an academic scholarship.
Yeah, the scholarship is a strong signal, right? It underlines
Yeah,
academic ability, dedication.
definitely. Then there's the Torah Tech gap year. We don't have tons of detail, but it suggests a period of maybe focused development before uni.
Could be personal growth, maybe some specific learning. It adds another layer.
And then the high school achievements from Ida Crown in Skokie, Illinois. Wow, a 4.43 GPA out of 4.0.
I know. And a 34 ACT score. Those are very impressive numbers. Graduated June 2022.
The U.S. location is interesting, too, given he's now in Israel. Shows adaptability, maybe. Willingness to step out of the comfort zone.
That's a great point. Employers often look for that kind of international experience or adaptability. Okay, should we dig into the coursework?
Yes, the relevant coursework section. This is pretty packed for a second-year student.
It really is. The university courses cover the fundamentals, thoroughly calculus, linear algebra, data structures, algorithms,
Intro to programming, programming with C, logic, discrete math.
advanced programming, cloud computing, even 3D animation with Unreal Engine. It's broad.
Plus the high school AP Comp Sci score of 55 and that Java SE8 certification class. He's been building this foundation for a while.
And crucially, it's not just listing classes. He highlights projects, like this microservices and REST API one.
Right, with a GitHub link. That's key, isn't it? Showing your work.
Absolutely. It signals confidence and transparency.
So this project, it's a stock portfolio app using microservices. Can you maybe break that down a bit? What does that signal?
Sure. So microservices means breaking a big application into smaller, independent pieces. It's a modern approach. Using Docker and Kubernetes for this, well, that's very current tech.
Okay, so practical industry-relevant skills. REST APIs, MongoDB database, NGINX. These are all things companies use.
Exactly. And then the CI/CD pipeline with GitHub Actions. That's about automating the build, test, deploy process. It shows an understanding of efficient, modern development workflows.
CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment.
That's it. And deploying it on Kubernetes, even a local version like KND, shows hands-on experience with managing these complex systems. It's quite advanced for his stage.
Wow, okay. And he's got more. A menu reservation app in Kotlin.
Yeah, showing mobile development skills. Things like localization, custom dialogues, dynamic UI. That's practical app building.
And then self-taught Swift built an iOS war card game.
That initiative really stands out, going beyond coursework, identifying an interest, learning a new language, building something functional that shows serious drive.
It really does. And Python projects, too. There's this graphics engine API using ASCII art in the terminal.
Yeah, that sounds like really foundational. It suggests he's not just using libraries, but understanding how things work underneath,
Yeah.
building from the ground up.
Which shows a deep curiosity, maybe. And providing the GitHub link for a Connect 4 example, using it
Oh,
smart.
very smart. Lets people see it in action.
Yeah.
And then this ongoing project, a large text-based open world RPG.
That sounds ambitious. Using classes, hash maps, multiple files.
It suggests he can handle complexity, organize a larger project, and developing a natural language system for it. That's really pushing things.
Again, with a GitHub link. So this whole section paints a picture of someone really doing the work, not just learning theory.
Precisely. It's a strong portfolio of practical application.
Okay, let's look at the tech skills summary. It lines up with the projects, right?
It does. Java and Python rated high, C and Bash medium, then Kotlin, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, good breadth.
And then the mechanical skills, C++ for robotics.
Interesting.
Yeah, hints at maybe hardware, software, crossover interest.
Yeah.
Plus the other SIGLs, Android Studio, K8s, Docker, MongoDB, CI/CD, Git, Datadog, Jira, Unreal Engine, Linux. It's a very solid list.
Very solid indeed. Now, work experience, an internship at watchful.ai during the gap year. Lead QA manager. That sounds like a lot of responsibility.
It really does for an intern role. Testing features, giving feedback to product and engineering, developing automated testing. That last one shows real initiative.
Taking ownership, improving processes. Exactly. And collaborating beyond just tech with sales and marketing. Plus, that mention of kudos from a large tech company for competitive insights.
That's gold, isn't it? A specific, positive outcome.
Absolutely. Quantifiable impact, or at least specific positive feedback, is huge on a resume.
Then there's the youth counselor role at Yagilu Wilderness Camp. Seems quite different from tech.
On the surface, yes. But think about the skills. Counseling 13 campers in the wilderness.
Right. Leadership, responsibility.
Communication, problem solving on the fly, interpersonal skills,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with challenges, teaching survival skills. These are highly transferable.
Good point. It shows a different side, maybe rounds him out.
Definitely. It suggests he can handle pressure, work with people, lead all valuables in any job, including tech.
Okay, and finally, the high school section. Lots of awards. Illinois State Scholar, National Honor Society, AP Scholar with distinction.
Strong academic foundation, clearly. The Cheese Society Award hints at community focus. The Science Award is relevant.
But the robotics and math teams seem especially key for a CS path.
Totally agree. Captain of Robotics, responsible for the whole process, leading programming in C++, R, even specific camera programming. That's direct experience and leadership.
Yeah, and math team captain, too. Leading meetings, teaching concepts, but also using humor, focusing on teamwork.
That shows people's skills alongside the technical leadership. It reinforces this blend we're seeing.
So, stepping back, looking at the whole picture, what kind of person emerges from behind these bullet points?
Well, clearly driven, I think.
Yeah.
Very curious. The self-teaching, the deep dive projects show that.
Yeah, proactive.
Definitely proactive.
Yeah.
Seems to genuinely enjoy problem solving. The Rubik's Cube thing wasn't just fluff. It feels authentic now.
And leadership potential seems clear from those captain roles.
Right. And the ability to work in different kinds of teams, robotics, math team, the startup internship, the wilderness camp.
It's a compelling mix, isn't it? The technical depth combined with these softer skills or broader experiences.
It really is. He doesn't seem like just a heads-down coder. He seems like someone who can collaborate, communicate, maybe even lead.
So where do you see someone like Hershel fitting in? What kind of role or company?
I think somewhere that values that kind of innovation, that problem-solving aspect. A place where he can tackle complex challenges.
Maybe a culture that supports both independent work, given his projects, and teamwork.
Exactly. And somewhere that appreciates that proactive learning, that continuous skill development he clearly demonstrates.
Okay, now for the tough love part, the resume RX. If we were giving Hershel some feedback, what could make this even stronger? It's already pretty good.
It is strong, but there's always room for polish. One thought is the about me. While it's engaging, could it be tailored even more specifically to each job he applies for?
Right, maybe highlighting the aspects that directly match that job description.
Precisely. Make that connection immediate for the recruiter. Another thing is quantification. The watchful.ai kudos is great, but could other achievements be measured?
Like reduced testing time by X% or helped increase user engagement by Y, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Concrete numbers always add weight. It's not always possible, but worth looking for.
And what about those transferable skills from the camp counselor job?
Yeah, maybe making those connections more explicit. Don't assume the reader will connect the dots between wilderness counseling and, say, project management or client communication. Spell it out a bit, maybe in a cover letter, or even subtly in the resume description.
Good idea. Make the relevance clear. Anything else? Maybe the order?
Potentially. Depending on the job, he might shift sections. If it's heavily project-focused, maybe move relevant coursework up higher. If it's an internship demanding prior work experience, lead with that. Tailoring the order can help.
Makes sense. So wrapping this up, what are the big takeaways for our listeners from looking at Hershel's resume?
I think, first, the power of a unique opening, like that Rubik's Cube analogy, if it's authentic. Second, showcase your projects. Don't just list classes. Show, don't just tell.
And quantify where you can.
Absolutely. Third, don't discount seemingly unrelated experience. Find those transferable skills and highlight them. And finally, just realizing how much you can learn about someone's potential by really digging into their resume.
Yeah, it's more than just a list. So, for you listening, the challenge is to think about your own story. How can you present it creatively? How can you show accomplishments, not just duties?
And think about all your experiences. How do they weave together to show who you are professionally?
We'd also love to see your anonymized resumes for future deep dives, so feel free to submit them.
Definitely. It's a great way to get another perspective.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. How can you find those hidden stories, those unique angles in your background, to make your resume truly reveal your potential? Hershel's gives us a glimpse of a promising future. How can you make yours do the same?
Go back to your own bullet points. Ask yourself, what's the real story here?